Good afternoon, friends. This is Amit Sarkar. I am Acquia certified Drupal developer. I have more than 10 years experience in Drupal. I am going to start a series of classes on Drupal. So before going into Drupal, I would like to tell you what is it. Drupal is one of the most popular, easy, functional, well-structured, secure PHP-based content management system. There are hundreds of thousands of eminent websites are currently built using Drupal. Drupal has huge developer community forum which continuously help to develop new modules, patches, enroll discussion, and share security updates, provide code review, and many more. Using Drupal, you can easily build almost any kind of websites, any functionality to ease web development needs. Friends, let us discuss about the features of Drupal at a high level here. I'll give more details on different features in detail when I'll take the individual classes on that. So first talk about the security and SEO friendliness. Security concern is a major concern for any website and web applications. Drupal has already its own components which help to proof hijack or cross-site scripting, SQL injections, and so on. SEO friendliness, Drupal has a community build module called Meta, which helps to preserve the meta descriptions, tags, robot descriptions, and all. I'll give into details later classes. Also, Drupal helps with the clean URLs, which is also SEO friendly and helpful. Second is dynamic design. So Drupal has its extended facility on dynamic design. Drupal has some community build modules, for example, display suite panels, which help to create some dynamic designs runtime. And beside this, Drupal has some core basic theme, for example, Bootstrap, which helps to create responsive site. This responsiveness helps to build a tablet view and mobility, etc. Second is excellent tools. It has a lot of hundred and thousands of community build modules which help to create different features. Then next is content creation. You can create several contents in Drupal. The main purpose of this CMS is to create different content types, taxonomy, entities, and so on. Next is reliable and robustness. Because of its several components which are really reliable in the perspective of security, and then it is highly optimizable and performed in the perspective of load test. Most of the Drupal sites are passed at the fast ground in load testing. Then second is API support. Drupal has extendable support for API integration. It can be integrated with several third-party services so well. Then flexibility and easily extendable. So Drupal by default has a lot of core and community build supportive functionalities, and these functionalities can be extended and fit into business requirements very well. Okay, so friends, let's go to the next slide. Before going into Drupal classes, I just would like to give you a highlight on basic architecture of web development and the role of Drupal. So the first communication starts from your browser. The browser is called your client software. Okay, and there are several softwares in the perspective of browser are in there, for example Firefox, Internet Explorer. So whenever the first request starts from your browser, it goes into the remote server, and the remote server, any web server is running, and the web server is containing Drupal and PHP. Okay, and based on the request type, it also inquiries into the database, which is MySQL here. MySQL is well packaged and well integrated with Drupal. It is not true that Drupal cannot be integrated with other database, but MySQL is the best option and well integratable with MySQL. Now, based on the request type from the user, it also fetches the data and return back to the Drupal, and Drupal in returns takes the data and renders into the user's browser immediately. So this way the total communications happens. So just to give an overview why it is the database is required for any CMS or web applications, it's like a memory. Okay. uh, for example, when a kid is born, his brain is basically blank, and by the time this kid is grows, then he used to accumulate the different informations and objects of real world into his brain, and next time when he comes into contact with a real life object and it matches with the existing object, and he can recognize it and can take the right decisions based on that. So in a short terminology, I can also compare the database with the visual memory. Okay, so the web server, whenever any request comes and it needs to uh, take decisions by the Drupal where the logical construct is written, it fetches the data from the database and solves the request. Okay, so let's go back next slide. So using the Drupal, what you can build? You can build different applications, softwares, tools. For example, forum and blogs implementation. Nowadays, a blog is very famous. In different sites, you can see the blogs and user can comment onto that. And also blog has a different functionality. For example, you can give stars, rate it, or you can like it. So based on the user tracking and likeliness, you can also create a good analytics out of it. Okay, and then next is the company profile portal development. So you can create easily company profile and websites for them. The next is online class management system. Nowadays it's very popular. You can build online class management system using the Drupal components very easily. Next is e-commerce software. So you can build the e-commerce software, and which is also at the same time very popular nowadays. Integration with external services and its several uses. So it can integrate the different services which are not built in Drupal. So in that cases, we need to integrate the external services. Okay. And the next is social media platform creation. For example, Facebook, Twitter. This kind of applications can be built easily using the Drupal. The next is chatbot. Different artificial intelligence kind of software also can be built using the Drupal. Okay, so uh, I hope the friends, you are getting a lot of inspirations and likeliness out of the different features of Drupal, and whenever I'll go into different classes, you will get excited to know it that it can be built very easily. Now the learning steps. There are basically two stages to learn Drupal to be able to create any website and its various functionality. So number one is learn and use the CMS features well. This is for technical and non-technical people. Okay, so by the clicks of menu and navigations, you can easily create any websites for you and for others also. You can build some complex functionality without having your technical and programming skills out of Drupal. So this is, isn't it very excited? Okay, so in the first stages of classes, I'll show you how to do this. Okay, and it is very interesting, trust me. The next is learn to alter your hook or functionality, okay, from the existing core or from the community build modules and methods, okay, and enable it into your custom module and to create totally independent custom modules. So this is exclusively for technical people. So this requires your programming skills, technical knowledge. Okay. So in this series of classes, I will also go through this point number 2. Okay. So in class 1, I'll be covering these things. I will show you how to install Drupal into your local system. Okay. And then I'll go into logging into your CMS Drupal after the installation, and how to use that CMS to create your basic website. And the third is installation of basic modules and themes. Okay. Now for regarding the installation, what you need to do, you need to first install your web server. The web server comes in the form of jam or wam. Okay, jam is supportive in the Linux based operating system. Okay, and then after that you need to download the zip from the drupal.org. If you are installing Drupal 6, you need to download Drupal 6 version. If you are interested working with Drupal 7, so you will download the Drupal 7, and if you want to download the Drupal 8, you can also download that from drupal.org. Then unzip it and copy into your htdocs or www folder. htdocs will be displayed if you are using the jam or Linux based operating system, and if you are using the wam web server, then you will see after installation there is a www folder. Okay, under the wam folder, and then you need to create a separate folder, and any name you give it, and unzip your Drupal org zip. Okay, and the next step is you need to update your httpd -v host configuration file to point your virtual local host domain to current Drupal folder. Okay, so this is an example which I have put here. Okay, here if you see this virtual host, uh, it will reside your jam folder. Okay, under the extra folder name, and here you will get this file name. Okay, and the document root is basically the path where you have put unzip your Drupal core files. Okay, and then next is server name. Server name is your domain name, whatever you have you can give. I have given here localhost.sim. Okay, and once this configuration is done, then you need to go into your host file, and then you need to configure this domain name pointing back to your local IP. Your local IP is always 127.0.0.1. Okay, so it appears that your domain name, any domain name which you give, will start to work into your local system. Okay, now let's go back to installation. So I'll show you how to install Drupal. So I have already unzipped the folder and put it inside the folder called Drupal new. Let me show you that. So this is the folder, and I have unzipped it from before, and after unzipping, this number of files will show you. Okay, so this is sites folder, themes. There are basic themes which you will find here, and modules. If I click here, you will see the core modules which help to build your basic Drupal CMS, and there are some other configuration files which help to create this framework of Drupal. But for non-technical people, I'm not going into details right now. I'm just showing you using your CMS how you can build your own website very easily with few clicks. So after unzipping that, you need to go into your browser. I have used the domain name which I have created in my vhost file. Okay, and I am installing it. So when I'll install this in the step, I need to give the database details. Now I need to create a database first in order to pass this step. So If you submit localhost slash phpMyAdmin, then your MySQL interface will be opened out. So here you need to go into databases and you need to create any database. So let me give you this name, testdb. So my database is created with a list of tables, but here you can see no tables found in the database. So I have created a blank database, but when I will finish the installation of Drupal, I can see the lot of tables are created here. So let me go back to this installation screen. So let me give the same name which I have created here, testdb. And by default the username for the local MySQL is root and it doesn't have any database. But for remote configuration, I will highly recommend you to create the username and password and assign to that database. So I'm going to save and continue. Now your CMS is configuring. Now give it the signed name, then give the email address. I'm just giving dummy data here. So I'm creating the admin credentials for my CMS. I'm giving some password. Please always give the strong password. Now you can select the country where you belong. So this way your settings, everything will show as per your country. I'm unchecking these update notifications, but it is also recommended when you install this into your remote server, you must check this so that you will get the usual day-to-day different updates and security patches and all. So your installation is done. So congratulations. Now you can visit your site. So this is the first screen once you complete your installation. Okay, and let me go back to the database. I am refreshing this and I can see a lot of tables are being created. So this is not required to understand for the non-technical people. I'll give into more details, but for sake of understanding, you can see a lot of tables are created, and here basically your all CMS data will reside. Now I'm here. Your basic page is created. For any basic websites, you need a header, footer, navigation. So everything is present here, but no menu is created, no page is created. Okay. Now let me create some basic page. So there are two content types already created by default. You can create your own content type. You can create your own content type under the structure. If you go structure, here's a content type. So if your website have different content types, for example news, blogs, you can create accordingly. Let me create one more. Let me give news, any description which you can give, and you can also create more fields for your content type. For now I'm not creating and leaving it with the default number of fields. So let me create a content under the news. So I'm giving the news 1 and this is a test description for my first content. So here you can check full HTML, and I'll show you how to also enable CK editor or different editors so that the end user can update the contents or format the contents, for example to make it bold or create any tagging or HTML tagging rather I should say. Okay, now there is no menu added to this, so I'm going to create one menu here. So if you check here, it will create one menu and it is adding in the parent item menu item. I can also give an URL name here. This is a clean URL which I was talking about, which helps to optimize your SEO. So whatever you give in the alias name, it is created with the URL. Always try to give some SEO friendly URL here. Your basic page is ready along with the menu. The menu name is news 1. So you can see here your content is ready. And if you don't want to allow your content to be commented by the users, you can hide that also from the structure. Let me go here, go back to the content type, let me edit that. So here you can see there are some settings. If you don't want to display the author and date information into the content, uncheck it. Then if you don't want your users to add comments, then please close that. So you can do this as per the requirement. So if I go back to my content, I can see this author name has gone from here, but I can see even the content has the uh, comment section enabled. Let me check again. Comment was created before, so it was showing. So let me close that. Now it has gone. So you can see your first content. And if I go back to the home page, I can see the list of nodes are showing. But if you want to show a certain content, you can go here under the configurations, then site information. Here you can change your site name and all. Here you can see the default page is directing to the node. So node is actually, it will show the list of nodes so which you will create. But if you want to particularly specify any page to be home page or landing page, you can do it here. So I'm just adding the news one which I have just created. And in this toolbox you can also create your own 404 page. That means when any page uses search and it doesn't exist, then it will redirect to your particular 404 page. And I will tell you why is it important in the later chapters and classes. So I save this and going back. So if I click into the home page, it will show here. And let me create another basic page. So this is landing page, description for landing page. So if I want to change that, let me give a URL alias name is home, and I want to make this as a home page. So let me go back to configuration, this site information. Then I want to change the landing page to home. So I save it like that, close this. Then I can see this landing page now change back to landing this page. Okay. So I think this way you can create your basic pages here, and I'll show you few modules to enable for you. So before going into that, you can change your appearance. So you can see there are some themes available here. So if you want to change that, you can change that as well. So if I set this default, then it will change back to this landing page. Okay, so it looks different than the other themes. The good thing is that in order to create your own site, you can get easily some free themes, and you can just download that and put it into themes folder. It will come display into this screen. Okay, and you can enable from here. So let me return back to the previous theme. So you can see I have returned back to the previous theme. Let me show you here. So under the themes, you can see these are the default themes. But if you want to enable the new theme for your site, you need to go into sites folder, and under the all you can see there is a theme folder. Right now there are no themes available here, but anytime you can download any new theme, or if you want to build a custom theme, you can put it here, and you just need to enable from the backend. Now I will show you how to enable some functionality for your site. So under the sites all folder, here I have created one modules folder, and I have created two folders from before. So if you want to download any community modules, you download here. Okay, and you need to enable it from the CMS itself. So I have downloaded several lot of modules here, and let me show you how to enable it from the CMS. So I am coming back to my CMS. If I click on the modules, it will show you all the modules, but if you see at the left hand side, they are unchecked. So that means those are not enabled. So let me enable a default contact module, because for any site there should have a contact page. So this contact page is basically nothing, a form through which the end user can contact to the site administrator. So I am enabling it and I am saving this. And I also enable one module list community module, which helps to see your list of modules very easily. Okay, so if I search, it's a module filter, sorry. So name of that community module is module filter. So if I save this, it will come like this. Okay, so basically what it gives you the facility, you can search any module very easily. For example, I want to search blog. You type it here, it will shortlist it and will show you the list of modules here. It's very easy. So I have just enabled contact module, and let me go into the permissions. So permission is a thing that there are several modules, and you can give permissions to a specific user roles. Okay, and by default you can see there are three kind of users here. One is anonymous user, authenticated user, administrator. So I'll give more details in the next classes about the roles, but right now just assume that your contact form needs to give some access to the front end or anonymous user. Okay, so this is the checkbox which you need to check. This is what it suggests: use the site with contact form. So I have checked it and saving it. Let me go back. So let me create one menu for that. Under the structure, here's a menu items. The main menu is actually listing here, so you can add new link. The new link is contact us, so which is very basic for any site, and the path for this site with contact form is contact. Now let me save this. Now contact has come here, and if you drag to this precedence or ordering, it will come accordingly. So if I go back to my landing page, I can see this contact us link has appeared here, and you can change the ordering from the menu items by doing the dragging and drop, as I have shown you. Now if you click on contact us, you can see your contact us form is ready. You even don't need to program it or write any code to create this form. I'll also show you using the web form. You can build any forms you like in the later classes. Okay, but right now you are utilizing the existing core modules of Drupal. So okay friends, in these classes I have just shown you how to install Drupal, how to enable your menus and pages, and also I have shown you how to switch back to different themes, and also I have shown you how to create a basic contact form, enabling it for your site and show it into the front end. Hope you like this session, and welcome for the next round of sessions. Thank you.